Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. I know I'm good at the moment. Hopefully we're all working okay on live stream. Can we all see? Oh, Frank's already on already. Sorry, I can't make it. I'm on site working on trucks. Nice to see you, Frank. We'll catch up soon. Well, anyone else? Anyone else ready out there already? That was quick enough, straight on the ball. Don't forget, just leave your comments up on the live stream. Anyone that's watching, it's always good to know who's about. Oh, we've got Stuart online. Hi, Stu. Hi, Stu. How are you? Hope you're okay. Anyone else? I can see that we've got quite a few viewers already. Oh, sound is out of sync. Ooh. Hold on a minute. Let me get that into sync then for it. Okay. Also, hi. Yeah. Is the sound okay now, folks? Are we in sync now? Great. Yeah, push a few buttons on this live stream. You can it can turn from like not so bad to really bad in seconds. Believe it. Right. So, oh, we're quite a few in. Oh, you're okay at your end. That's good. Great, Stu. It's okay at my end. Great. Sound is fine. Terry's on. Hello, Terry. Sounds okay. Good. Right. Keep your comments coming, guys. It's always nice to have you on board, and please say hi as we're going along. Don't forget, you can follow along here. Go and have a look on the website. I'll get it right in a minute. Follow on the website. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can look on Facebook, and please share it with all your vehicle installer friends. That would be really good. Oh, they're all on board now, but we'll all say hi to them in a minute. Right, so we'll get on with the presentation. It's tonight. It's a rerun of last week, because if anyone was watching it last week, it went completely wrong. I had it looked like it said that the software that I'm using just failed completely, and it basically just dumped me off the system. So we'll crack on with this just in case it does dump me out again. So first of all, some questions for you first of all. So let me just go. So question number one, if you've watched it already, I'm really sorry, but I've got to just rerun it. So are non-ratchet crimp tools okay? It's like the one you see in the picture there. Are they okay to use? That's question number one. Number two, what do you think you should pay for a crimp tool? So what type of money do you think you should pay for a decent crimp tool? And that's an object, you know, completely. I would say completely. I know it's a completely subjective question, but you know, let's put it out there. What do you think we should pay for a crimp tool? Bear in mind, use it every day. And the question number three, which was my little addition one, sort of, what's the oldest crimp tool that you've got? How old is your crimp tool? You know, that you have that out there as well. So what we're going to talk about is ratchet crimp tools straight away. So your answer straight away to question number one is, should we be using ordinary gripped crimp tools? No, we should be only really using ratchet crimp tools. It's confirmation more than anything that the actual crimp is done, and it's done to the right standard, provided you've got everything adjusted. But let's have a look at the ratchet crimp tools that I have. So I've got a standard ratchet crimp tool for standard insulated crimp connectors. We've got one for a heat shrink connector. We've got one for an antenna. We've got ones for non-insulated, and then I've got some other special crimp ones as well. Anyone that's got any others, put some pictures on in the comments. That'd be great. Seeing anything that you can't see there. But let's open up the camera, and let's see if I can do this now. And this is where it all goes wrong. Bang. Yes, we've got it. Okay. So we looked at, first of all, standard crimp connector is your standard one, which is this sort of one here. This is actually quite a nifty crimp tool. I don't know whether you've seen these before, but they've got basically, like, as you can see now, as I'll try to demonstrate off camera, because they tend to be a bit difficult to get out. You can see that these have got an interchangeable crimp, which I think is quite nifty. So you can buy a set of those. Some come with 5, some come with about maybe 9 or 10 different types, depending on the one that you buy. Except I'll put it in the right, put it in the right way, Jace. That's the right way to do it. And as you can see, there are, I don't know whether you can see the teeth on that. I think I can just about show you those teeth. You can see that there's 2 lots of teeth on there. And then what you've got is, you've got that, it's that type of connector that it's doing. And as you can see from the crimp tool, it will leave an identity. This one's quite clever because it leaves an identity on it of what type of, which one you've used. So you can see like that. And as you can see, when you do actually use the crimp, the confirmation is there that it's actually done it to the right level of crimp. Okay. So that's your insulated one. Then we were talking about the heat shrink one. This is different, and I'll bring the other one back because everybody asked me about this. Is what's the difference between the two? So you can see that that's the standard crimp tool. It's got 2 lots of. You can see it's got 2 lots of teeth. The heat shrink one doesn't. The heat shrink one only has one set of, so we say, pliers or teeth to grip. So it's only got the 1 set, you can see there. And that's the main difference, because all you need to do on a heat shrink connector is to crimp the metal part of the heat shrink, because the rest of the work is done, as you know, by heat. So there's no real need to have one like that. So if you do use this type of crimp, not only is it going to put marks, the teeth marks, and it's also put those marks in there. It may even damage, because it's quite thin. It may even damage the heat shrink connector. Sorry, I'll put that in camera. So that's the 2 there. That's your heat shrink one. Then we move on to I think it was uninsulated. I'm not sure which order it was. Well, the uninsulated one is for doing this type of, you can see it just dropped it, that type of crimp, or you could get other types. There's obviously the types that go onto the end of the cable for pins, or we can see on this one, I think this is the reason I bought this one, it was for super seal connectors. So you can see that they've got those individual pins on a super seal as well. So that's for an uninsulated, that's the uninsulated crimp tool. Quite a weird looking thing, I think. Now, the antenna one, someone asked me as well, you know, on that message, there was, what's your oldest, the oldest crimp tool that you've got? That's this one. This is my oldest one. I did show it on the last video, but this was, I bought this about 30 odd years ago. Anyone that knows me, you'll know how long it was, because this was one of the first tools that I actually ever bought. It was from RS, and I think it was something in the region of about £130 that I bought this for, and it's never failed. It's adjusted to the right level. It's always calibrated and adjusted. Obviously, you've got the more modern type here, which is this one, and it's used for. As I quickly open the bag to show you, it's for doing that type. If anyone's ever seen an antenna crimp tool, it's for doing that type of antenna connection. I think that's an SMA connector that you see there, but it's for doing that type of crimp. So that's what you've got there. So that's the antenna one. And then we've got the some other ones, and I'm sure you've got some other ones as well. I have showed this before because I quite like it. I think it's quite clever because it's a crimp tool used for crimping flag connectors, which I think is quite nifty. You can see it's got an aperture to put that in, and you put your crimp in there like that, and away you go. It just crimps like so. I quite like that. Or is it the other way around? Yeah, actually, oops, sorry. Yeah, it is. It goes, see, still out of practice. Yeah, it goes into the crimp like that. You can see it goes inside there. And yeah, quite a nifty piece of kit that is. So that's all your crimp tools. Well, that's some of the crimp tools that I have. There's obviously ones for, I'll go back to my main screen. Hold on a second. There's obviously ones for the, well, there's my old one, old crimp tool. There's obviously ones for doing RJ45 connectors. And then if you're actually working under the, so I would say higher amperages, then there are crimp tools out there for doing the higher amperage stuff. You're talking about the type of crimp tools that we're working with here. Probably only probably go up to about 45, maybe 50 amps before you then need like the bigger crimps that will actually sort of crimp like the battery terminals and stuff. So that's all the crimp tools that I certainly have. And really, that's all there is to show you. Really, sort of in terms of costings of these types of crimp tools. If anyone asks, I would say that if you're going to spend, if you're going to be out there doing installs, all day every day, then if you look at sort of spending something in the region, anything in excess of £100. I don't think there's much point in buying something, something cheap. And, in terms of the fact that you're going to use it every day. So, because people ask me, is that, well, I'm only going to pay £30 or £35, which you can get, and you can get quite a decent crimp tool. But I think if I'm going to use my crimp tool every day, I'd more than likely, like I have done, is go for like quite a decent, and I don't know whether you can see that or not, quite a decent crimp tool, like you see the one that I have here. Which is, it's quite a heavy duty. It's made in Germany, and like I say, if you want sort of the testament to that, there's my £150 crimp tool that I bought when I first joined the industry, and it's still going, good as ever, strong as ever. And yet I have bought cheaper crimp tools, and they've faded, they've broken, but this has, stood the test of time. Right, so. Let's have some question and answers, everyone. Let's go to the presentation again. So, have we got any questions and answers out there? We'll see. Let's have a look at. Let's see. We've got some. Oh, I use some non-ratchet for small OEM pins as it's more accurate. Yeah, okay, I get that, but still, all the same, how do you confirm that? And I have seen them before, Craig. How do you then actually confirm that it has been done to the right, to the right level? It's always a difficulty. How about getting off Wish? Okay, Stu. Yes, yeah, very, very. Getting them off Wish. I don't think so, Stu. Not really a good idea. One of my old friends, I remember that green crimper. Yes, yeah, I bet you do. It's 30 years old, mate, as old as I am. Who else have we got? Craig, no, I haven't eaten yet. I'm ready to eat now. Absolutely starving. And who else we got? Simon, hi. Hi, Thomas, as well. Hi, Gary. Let's see if we've got any others. Yeah, okay, Craig. Practice, experience, and a good tug. Not that kind. Not that type of tug. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Great. Right. So you can see now as well, just some other little bits and bobs. You can actually see now that there are planned sort of live streams now moving forward. So you can actually see that I'm actually working on it a little bit more on these live streams, so to give you a little bit more learning and what have you. So have a look on LinkedIn, have a look on Facebook. There are a set of planned events. In fact, if I just have a look, if I just bring my list up, I think I can show you. I can have a look and see how many I've got coming up. So I've got, hold on, let me just have a look at my events. Let me push the right button as well. So we've got Crimp Tools, which we're doing now. We've got power distribution next week. We've got new tools and gadgets on the week after. We've got fuse holders and fuse boxes on the week after that. And then on the following week, which is October 27th, we actually got a good one because we're going to talk about tapes. And I've got some tapes here that I'll be sort of testing and looking at as well. So that's what's coming up. Oh, wow, Sam. Yes, I still have that same green crimper tent, 20 years old. Thank you, Sam. It's nice to see that there are some tools that are still out there and stuff. Yes, nice to hear from you, Sam, as well. Saw some of your chaps from Plantai, or some of your old chaps from Plantai, should I say, today while I was out and about. Doing a great job. Thank you. Thanks, Billy. That's really kind of you. Doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Billy. Thanks for that. Right. Any other questions? Oh, how about looking at soldering irons? Yeah, we can look at soldering irons if you like, and we can look at all the different types. And I did have I had a conversation with the chaps at Milwaukee as well. A nice conversation with them. So yeah, maybe I can highlight that as well, and we can talk that on. We can bring that onto the live stream as well. Thanks for that suggestion, Simon. So we'll put that in the books. Okay, so I think it's about time I went for me tea. Any other comments to put in before we go? No? Well, as I say, next week we will be talking about, if I can bring the button up, try and work out how this button works. Oh, hold on a second. It's not working. There we go. It's fuse holders and power distribution. Well, there we go. So lovely to see you all again. It's great to have you on board. Don't forget, please share it with your mates. Let them know 7 o'clock Wednesday night. And if they can't watch it 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night, you can always tune in later on in the week, because you can watch it on a sort of rerun if you like. But please leave your comments as well. You can also leave your comments on the reruns as well. But thanks very much for watching, everyone, tonight. And I'll leave you with this. Thanks a lot. Bye.